Welcome to GAC Time. We discuss all things General Hospital. So put your feet up, get your teacups, get your snacks, and let's begin. General Hospital Daily Recap for Monday, April 13th, 2026. So there was a bunch of folks in this episode. Let's see what our favorite bunch of characters are up to. Rick came over to see Alexis. It was funny because he knocked on the door, and the first thing Alexis did was try to close the door on him when she saw was Rick. So anyway, Rick came in to tell Alexis that Danny approached Sonny about being in the mob. Alexis looked like she started hyperventilating. She was gonna pass out. She had to go sit down in the chair. Rick was just like, sit down and relax and stuff like that. I think her reaction was a little over the top, but after she calmed down, she just was just like, oh my goodness, she knew something like this would happen because who his parents were, right? So then she asked Rick, what did Sonny say? Like she believed that Sonny would let him come in. But he's like, no, Sonny's shut him down. He's not gonna let Danny be in the mob. He knows this is ridiculous. Side note though, what was the other thing that was really funny is that I forgot that they tied Rick up in that basement for a minute. That's another reason why he don't want to go over to that house, right? So I was like, I was thinking about when he was telling Sonny he don't want to go over there. That's another reason. Anyway, so Rick and Alexis are just discussing how that's not the right course for Danny. And he did tell Alexis that one good thing that Danny has is that Jason left her custody of Danny. And I was thinking about that too. I said, you know what, he's right. Because if Danny was living at the Quartermains, um, ain't nobody paying no attention to him over there. I'm like, Michael's busy, Tracy's busy, everybody's just busy. So at least here, Alexis can keep some eye on him and actually knows what's going on with Danny. So I'm not saying that that's going to help her be able to keep him on the straight and narrow, but it does help when somebody's kind of micro focused on what this person is doing. It's good that he go back and forth to the Quartermains, but it's good that he has somebody that's actually keeping track of his location. So it's funny. Danny was cleaning out the basement and he came up, saw Rick there and stuff like that. And he was asking his grandmother, like, what is this thing? And he had that whole ball gag thing in his hand. I was like, oh, kid, throw that away. You don't know what that's been. Just throw it out. So she just was like, yeah, like she just get rid of that. Rick left, and then Danny was like, oh, she started talking to Danny about what Rick said. And hopefully Alexis can get through to Danny on some level, but he started thinking back again to Rick and Sonny's conversation that he overheard that Sewell was involved in this whole thing. The mob is one thing, the WSB is something else. They will lock that boy so far underneath some place that he'll never see the light of day again. So I hope they can get Danny straight because he don't need this kind of problems in his life. Emma and Gio were wrapping up a gift that they could take over to Brooklyn and Chase for baby Phoebe's arrival. The gift that Gio got was so cute. It was this little mobile, but it had like little instruments on it. I was like, oh, that's so cute. So Emma was like, you're really good at picking out these baby gifts. He was like, yeah, he's been, because the Cirillos is such a big family that he's been to so many baby showers that he got this whole thing on lock. He know what to pick out, what people are looking for and stuff like that. The good part was Gio was able to look down memory lane. He was like, as much as he loved the Cirillos, he was like, the Quartermains are kind of similar to them. And that even though they come off a certain way, they're still good people. And it's true, like the Quartermains do things, but they are still a good group of folks. And, so it's good that he's part of both families. But these two on their way over to the Quartermains to see baby Phoebe's arrival. So the whole Quartermain crew is at the Quartermains waiting for baby Phoebe to arrive, right? So Brooklyn is there, and just before the baby comes, Tracy and Olivia get into this big argument about how they almost wasn't able to get the baby because Olivia was throwing out the word hooker, right? So Olivia's like, don't blame me, that was a grown-up conversation and he shouldn't have been listening. Then she was like, and it's Michael's fault too. So Michael comes in and Michael's like, how was it my fault? Right? So he was just like, and then Brooklyn just shut the whole thing down. She was like, no, we're not doing this. Baby Phoebe's gonna be here soon and I don't need y'all acting silly and like this. She said she's gonna send them all to their room, which was funny. So anyway, The doorbell rings. It was Gio and Emma, but then after Gio and Emma got settled in, the doorbell rang again, and it was baby Phoebe and the social worker. So I was looking at the baby. I said, "That is the cutest little baby. She's so chunky." So anyway, they bring the baby in, and Brooklyn's introducing her to all the family and stuff like that. Everybody's just, loving up on baby Phoebe. And that's good that the baby has some place to be and everything like that. The funny part was, of course, Chase had to throw in there about how they had to be grateful to Willow because, she was the one that, was able to help them get this baby. I'm like, ugh, they probably would have got the baby anyway without her help. So Brooklyn's face again looked twisted up. Michael was looking at Brooklyn and was like, I know he's sorry for recommending that nonsense. They could have figured out another path. But other than that, later Brooklyn was telling Gio, she was like, I know this is a happy occasion and everything like that. But she was like, when I was holding baby Phoebe, I really was thinking about, I wish I could have held you like that as a baby. And Gio was telling her that, they can't go back in time, fix things, but he is happy with their relationship is now, which is a good thing because now they could build on that relationship and stuff like that. In the interim, they started talking about, I think Gio somehow brought up, was it Gio? Oh, no, it was Michael. Michael brought up how, the night got cut short. Trina's night didn't end on a happy note because the whole thing that happened with Jordan. And then he started talking about the accident. Brooklyn has a flashback of her driving and she was blowing her horn and then she kind of skidded off the road a little bit and she's thinking probably that she caused this accident. I don't know. I don't know. That didn't look good in that flashback, but we'll see what happens with this. Willow is a mess, capital M mess. Okay, so she's in there having this crazy conversation with Drew for the hundredth time. She just rambles on to him, and Drew is just stuck in listening, which is kind of good for him because he done did so much dirt. This is this is his payback. But anyway, Nina come flying in there, and she's just like, "Oh, she want to tell her the conversation she had with Brennan." So it looks like Brendan's gonna back off because he doesn't want Carly knowing that he held onto this footage of Willow coming around and stuff like that. I don't know how long Brendan gonna hold off because he could really release that footage and nobody will know he did it. But on top of that, so Willow, something comes up. She says she helped Chase and Brooklyn get this baby. At first, Nina was like, "Oh, why did you even help the Quartermains?" But then Nina was like, she understood because she was like, "Oh, Chase did so much for you, and I can understand you wanting to pay him back." And then Nina had the nerve to say to her, "I'm sure you hate that Chase was the one that got away. He's such a good person." Here we go. I'm telling you, just gonna get in her ear. She's gonna be chasing about 5 more minutes. So after that, Willow said she had to go take a phone call because I guess the social worker was calling her and stuff like that. So she said she was going in the other room. Can Nina give Drew his medication? Okay. So Nina was like, "Oh, at first she was hesitant, but she was like, I gotta do this for my daughter. Okay, I'll do it." So Willow goes out the room. Drew is blinking, and she's just like, "I don't know what you're saying," and stuff like this. I was like, this is so crazy. So she gives Drew this medication, which makes her accessory to what? Yes, a crime. So Willow comes down. She's like, "Oh, here's a disposable bag. Just put the needle in here." Nina's fingerprints all over that, right? I forget. You know what? I'm gonna take that back. She's not even an accessory. I think Willow is gonna make it so her looks like her mother did this to Drew. That her mother was doing this the whole time. Now, any judge or jury would say this is crazy because she's the one with the medical stuff. She would know how to do that. So they would think that both of these two was in on it together. But it's crazy how she's gonna set Willow her mother up like that. I think Willow I think Nina would do anything for Willow. And I don't understand why she would do this. It's weird. So finally, after 1,000 years, Willow came clean to her mother and said she was the one who did all this stuff to Drew, that she pow-powed him, but she didn't tell her about the medication part. She may tell her about that today, but I don't know. But yes, she told her that she did do it. She was the one that did the crime and blah blah blah. Nina knew this. So you can't tell me Nina didn't know that. I don't believe it. I know she deep down she knew her daughter did this. So we're gonna see what happens to this. But we know in the long run, if they gonna blame anybody for this crime, it's gonna be Nina because Willow has set her up. Lucas and Isaiah were talking, and Lucas was giving Isaiah an update on Jordan's condition a little bit, not full update, but just saying that she came out of surgery and stuff like that. He said he wished he was there when they was doing the surgery, but it's funny because nobody knew Isaiah and Jordan were dating at one point or hooking up or whatever they were doing. But Lucas is nosy. Lucas is like he want the backroom story and everything like that. But Isaiah gave him an edited version. Just say Jordan saved his life back when Sidwell had kidnapped him and sent him here looking for Lucky and all this, that whole storyline. So he owes her a lot. Um, it was weird though, because Lucas said, I know Sitwell did all this stuff in the past, but I want to judge him by who he is today. Who he is today is who he was yesterday. What are you talking about? Look, I can understand Lucas wanting to get in there and infiltrate and Sitwell, but he don't have to act like that with other people. I don't get that part. Anyway, Lucas saying that he wants to judge Sitwell as he is today, and he thinks he's an okay man because Marco loved him and all types of nonsense, whatever. But that was it for this. But I don't know, Lucas. I don't know where he going with this. We'll see what happens. Stella was catching up with Curtis, and Stella was just like, because Curtis just feels like he's just lost because Jordan hasn't woken up yet. He wants to make sure she's okay, and Stella's like, just have faith, she's gonna be okay, and stuff like that. While they were sitting there, Stella was kind of apologizing because she was like, she'd be overstepping a lot, and that she was being in their business, and she's sorry, she should fall, she shouldn't be doing that. And Curtis is like, as much as she does kind of do too much sometimes, he appreciates her, and Jordan doesn't mind. I think everybody minds. I think this was a good opportunity for him to rein Aunt Stella in and not tell her that behavior that she have is okay. But anyway, Curtis let her, get away with that. He said, no, no, Jordan didn't mind and this, that, and everything, but whatever. Later on, Lucas came out. He gave Jordan vitals, and he was like, no, she's doing okay, the kidney's doing okay, and that she's in the clear somewhat. This is the soap land, so anything can happen anytime. Right now she might look fine, tomorrow she might be something else. So Curtis was overjoyed, and he was like, can I see her? And Lucas was like, yeah. He was like, you can go up and see her. While he was up there seeing her, he was talking to Jordan. She was still unconscious. Eventually she started gaining consciousness again, so which is good. So she's going to be able to talk to him and stuff like that. So it seems like Jordan is on the mend. Oh, I will have to say, Stella did say she spoke to TJ. So that was another TJ mention. Maybe they're gonna bring TJ back, because sometimes when they mention people more than once, they should, and every so often, just how they do with Curtis' dad, they should bring him in, TJ in every so often. He could come there, do a medical conference, check in on some stuff at GH, and things like that. But I don't know why they don't do that. But we'll see what happens. It seems like Jordan is on the mend, and she's gonna be fine. Stella and Isaiah were catching up for like a hot second. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it was kind of strange. So they were talking about the accident or something like that. And Isaiah was like, no, I was at my cabin the whole night. So basically setting himself up with an alibi. And I'm like, what do you need an alibi for? Like, so if you guys have not seen it, did a feature video on like a whodunit who may have ran Jordan and Curtis off the road. So if you guys have not seen that video, I'm going to attach it to this video. You should take a look at that. But I am really hoping that Isaiah didn't have anything to do with that. The only thing I could think of, the reason why he might have said he needed an alibi, is because he did go check on Rocco. He knows what that wound is that Rocco has. So if that whole thing comes out, he might be like, I didn't go over there to see him, right? He wanted to just clear his name. That's what I'm hoping. And that he didn't have anything to do with running Jordan and Curtis off the road, because that would be just crazy. Justine came over to see Sonny, and she wanted to warn Sonny that Sidwell is on the revenge tour or whatever. Like he's trying to get you, because she was like, he thinks that you had something to do with running Jordan off the road. That Jordan was looking into who did with that thing to Marco, and that he thinks you did it, and you got rid of Jordan so she couldn't find out. Now, I said this before. I think Sybil's right with part of the theory that whoever ran her off the road is trying to get her off the scent of who really did it. And if you have not seen that video, I'll mention it again. I did a who done it. I think there is three possible people that could have been responsible running her off the road, and they have their own reasons. But right now we're looking at Brooklyn and Isaiah, because that's what they want us to look. But I think it's somebody else. But Sonny is not, doesn't seem phased by this. He's just like, he didn't do that. He would never do something like that. And it's not something that Sonny would do. So he was asking Justine, does she believe that? So at first Justine was like, she got quiet, but she was like, no, I don't believe you would do something like that. No, because this is not a Sonny MO thing. So at the end of all of that, of course, here goes Sonny trying to get in for a kiss, because he wasn't going to let Justine get out of there without not getting some of that. So, Justine was like, I didn't come here for that. I just came to warn you and stuff. And the next thing you know, she was like, well, I don't have a place to be. So of course they was getting their sexy time in. So that was the end of that. I think they're gonna have a few more times of this. Can they get some Valentine and Carly, please? If you getting a second time for Justine and Sonny, can we get a second for? Okay, I'll stop. So, guys, anyway, what was your favorite part about this episode? Please let me know down in the comment section. What was your least favorite part? And if you don't have a comment, I would love to see a thumbs up, a smiley face, a heart. I love all forms of communication. So, guys, don't forget to hit that bell notification and a like and subscribe, because it really helps the channel. And thank you for joining us again at GHT Time. Till next time, bye.